Yes, okay. Welcome back. It's summertime and at least time for some learning and enjoyment. SAP just sent over a double or triple or joint presentation segment presenting Signavio and Lean IX, two companies that they actually acquired, or at least Lean IX, for some time. I think it was last year, and SAP has become an interesting company, I would say, where they acquire things that people and that people like, and companies that they find interesting. And I think I will just shut my mouth most of the time and give you a first-hand introduction to what's next between 25 and in 26. Let's go.
You the right instruments into your hands to really maximize your potential in the market, and also use our tools to the maximum potential. Now, how does it look like? What is the foundational concept? Our idea is to unite the four most important elements of any business, which is people, processes, applications, and data. Let's be honest, without those 3 to 4 elements, none of the business can run. And yes, you can tell me AI will take over the world, but still we need all these 4 elements to even create AI. So our idea is really to unite these 4 elements in every step of the transformation, from discovery to design to operational capabilities, and creating actually the transformation capability. Now, this is one of our tasks. We also want to give back our knowledge to you, since we have a lot of experience in different industries with different customers through our methodology, for example. We have different kind of methodologies in place which you can use. We have also benchmark analysis. As I mentioned, we have a lot of experience, 20 plus experience in process excellence within different industries. So this is why we have also benchmark analysis, which gives you also the idea where are you standing on the market. And of course, let's not forget AI. We are now infusing AI in all our modules, and you will also have a glimpse of it today. Now, as of today, our portfolio looks as following. So the processes are covered by Signavio now. We have also a great tool called WalkMe, digital adaptation platform, which is actually taking care of people's part, and then also VNX, which is taking care of the application landscape. And of course, not to forget data, which is a separate topic we can maybe take on another day, and cloud finance. Today we will focus specifically on Signavio and VNX and how those 2 tools are collaborating together. Let's start first with Signavio. Signavio consists of 7 modules. 2 of them are there to help you to analyze your processes, to define your processes, to get this fit gap analysis. Now, once you got those insights, you want to also design a solution, which you can do then in Process Manager. You can design your process, or you can also create a journey modeler if you have a business which is closer to the customers and you want to also have customers involved into your processes. And we have also process governance and process automation, which is actually elevating your processes to the next level a little bit. Process governance will help you to semi-optimize your workflows, like for example approval workflows, whereas process automation will help you really to optimize the end-to-end process. can be simple processes, they can be
Look at
complex
that.
processes. But what if you are growing, you're scaling up? The data and the process landscape is also growing. And as it gets harder and harder to find that one bottleneck which is causing a lot of trouble in your business and eliminate it. And actually I have with me also Maureen today, who's facing also a similar situation. She's business analyst, she has just started her new role in a new company, but she actually sees that there is lack of transparency in the process landscape. And also, the way the data is managed is also a little bit suspicious. So what she notices is actually that her team is working a lot of Excel is loaded with formulas, and let's be honest, we all know how these formulas work, and that errors can come there. So this all causes an inefficient resource use, and as a consequence also slow changes. We can connect, of course, SAP systems to process intelligence, but we can also connect non-SAP systems to process intelligence, which is a huge benefit. You can mine your processes from different systems and analyze different variants, create also conformance checks, and so on and so forth. Let me show you how it can look for you. I'll share in a second my screen. I'll give it a few seconds of delay. So now you should see my screen, and we are currently in the Process Collaboration Hub. Process Collaboration Hub is the center and the heart of Signavio. This is where you bring all your users together, all your stakeholders together. This is where you can also store a lot of knowledge. Now currently what you're seeing in the middle is the so-called navigation map. By the way, don't worry. If you will start with Signavio, you don't need to create the navigation map yourself. We have a lot of templates which we have created ourselves or together with customers or with partners, which we also provide to you as a template that you can populate it with your data. Now let's dive into the procurement process. And what we are currently seeing here is a short description of the process. You see also the diagram, and by the way, to the diagram, you can also include different kind of information. This is what I meant with the knowledge storage. On the right side, for example, I clicked on the one activity, and on the right side we see also the responsible person. We can of course include even more information like documentation or different screenshots if we need so, and so on. But now let's focus on the analysis of the process. We currently see, for example, with the create purchase orders, we can again here see a quick description, but we are more interested in this identification. So what does this mean? Obviously on red, so we want to kind of understand what is happening on that side. And on the right side, we actually see also a glimpse of it. So it shows that we are below our target in automation rate. Now we can either jump over to the process intelligence with this one link, or we can also, if we're just in a hurry and we are not interested in detail to you, we can just scroll down and see an integrated dashboard from Process Intelligence already down here. I find it really convenient, I must say. I really enjoy this. Specifically, our customers are always really impressed that we can really integrate different modules into each other and specifically how they are working together. Now, I would like to really quickly switch also over to Process Intelligence just to give you also a little bit a look and feel of how it looks. So it doesn't look a lot more different. You just have more space.
Yes, that is actually Signavio.
If you remember before, you
what you can call business intelligence and analytics.
Quickly to the process analysis, and now I would like to demonstrate one of three of my favorite widgets, which I'm really happy to use and really like to also test myself whenever I'm not working with the customers. So one of them is the process discovery, and let me use here the path. Now imagine you have not seen the process model which I have showed you before. You just have the raw data. the data, you have nothing documented, nothing. So what we do actually, we connect now your raw data to process intelligence, and this is the result of it. What we are currently seeing in this following widget is a data-driven perspective of our process. So this is the pure process mining capability. Now, of course, let's be honest, in the reality, such process looks differently. So there are some users who are skipping maybe some steps. So if we increase the path, we can actually see also a little bit the reality. We see, for example, that 1.4 currencies have skipped the approval, which can cause also some compliance issues, right? So this is how you can start to analyze and dig deeper into your process. Now this gives you just an overview of what is happening in your process, how your data looks like, and so on. Now if you are more interested in variant analysis, we have of course another widget for that called process variants. And here you can really filter out the variants. You can really compare them with each other. And one of the best capabilities in my opinion is the reverse engineering. So once you have decided about one of the variants and you want to, let's say, document it, you can just with one click generate a BPMN diagram out of it and store it in your process manager, or even continue working on it. In my opinion, this is really a great capability. It is not said that you have to do it with every data, of course, or with every process, but it helps you also to be much more efficient and productive in your analysis. Now, if we scroll down, and this is the next widget, is something interesting for those businesses, for those companies who are undergoing the S4 transformation or are already over it and are interested in harmonization of the processes. It is the process conformance widget, also one of my favorite widgets. And what you're currently seeing is in the background, the gray model which we see, it can be your best practice. Either out of our library, or maybe you have created your own best practice. You can lay it over as your best practice template, and what the system is doing, it is actually reading your data and placing the data points on your activity. So you can actually see in the blue the actual activities which have been executed in your system. For example, here we clearly see that one step is outside of that best practice or outside of our creative process. So what does this mean? Of course, we want to look into that. We want to understand why a new step has been created. Or maybe we need to map it completely newly, or maybe we need to adjust the process. So this really helps you to standardize your process and also harmonize them. And if we go down, I'd like to show you also some other widgets and how you also can actually collaborate together with your team. For example, we've been talking before about automation rate. We have here also an automation rate. And let's say we want to create a task for our team. Now I can just go here on this light bulb and say, well, I want to really focus on the automation, right? We want to increase it. So don't be confused by the names. You can just create here a new task. Let's say automation rate increase. You can leave it as open. And then you can even add an initiative. So what are the initiatives? The initiatives are basically the sub-project of your main project. Let's call it like that. We can then, if you're interested to learn more about the initiatives, we can then have a separate session on that. But this is basically, this helps you to keep track on your sub-projects, like for example, standardization or improvement of financial closure. Let's just take the harmonization of the procurative process. And now, for example, we can also put a lead in that project, right? Let's put my colleague here.